All right, buongiorno everyone. Hope you've had a good week and rolling into the Easter break. All the well wishes to you and your family. I just thought I'd do a recap of today's trading, CPI day. As I say quite often, I'm a little hesitant around kind of pushing down your throat how I trade and the way I do things because everyone's strategies different and my strategy is probably very different to a lot of yours, but I do kind of understand and get that um, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect sometimes with looking at the data that I'm providing and also translating that into decision making. So I'll take you through today how I traded it, and that you can obviously take it with a grain of salt, but just might be worthwhile or of help to some people to see how my thought process, I guess. So let's get going. So CPI day, obviously today. So if we just revert back to kind of what my interpretation of the data was this morning. First hour move, usually a reliable indicator of overall direction of the day. So again, if you look at the data, why I'm saying that is I've sorted this by the regular trading hours moves. So obviously the biggest falls to the biggest rallies. And you can see, and again, this comes back to the way that I'm looking at the data, right? So I'm not looking for 5 or 10 point scalps. The way I interpret things, I'm always looking for, well, what are the precursors to the major moves, potential major moves? So for me today, CPI day, that gets a tick in terms of trading as opposed to golfing or surfing because it's an event and we're likely to have some big moves that we can potentially trade off and make some good money. So first checkbox ticked. When you look at here, so essentially the biggest falls, the first hour, fallen 39, fallen 17, fallen 6, fallen 35, fallen 5, fallen 17. Okay, and the biggest rallies, that was a bit of an outlier there, fallen 22, but other than that, rally 28, rally 25, flat 9, drop 17, 8, 1, etc. So essentially what I'm saying is that looking here, that first hour move will the vast majority of the time determine which direction if we're going to get a big move. So, I know people like to suggest that, they're waiting for the actual data and magically it's going to, come in under or over and can make a big move one way or another. But as a general rule, that's fairly unlikely. The price action is determined well in advance of the actual data dump. So that's all I'm saying there. 20 points either side of open is kind of the line in the sand. So again, if you look at the top, however many moves there, they didn't go more than 20 points above open. So if I'm short and I'm trading for these kind of numbers here, and it jumps 20 points on open, well, that's my hypothesis is void because it's gone above these numbers here. So this is now very unlikely. And same on the way up for rallies. Again, apart from this one outlier here, everything else is kind of below 20, 25 points, say. So for me, that's the line in the sand where if I was on the wrong side of that I'd put up the white flag. So average range of CPI days is 63 points. I would mark this average range on your charts for context. So should still be plenty of room for profit using these parameters. So in this case, I'm looking at this in the morning and I don't see any edge to trade from pre-market or open. And this might be different for you. You might look at this, and this is the great thing about what I'm trying to provide is that you might look at this and interpret it in a completely different way and see something that I don't there, and you can trade off that. But for me, there was no edge until we started seeing some of these moves here. Okay, so And I'll just mention as well, so you would have got a text, a high probability short text this morning. If the market does not finish that 10 points higher or lower, it's self-destruct. So don't take anything from it if that pre-market move is not 10 points or more. Basically, I don't know what's the likely outcome is. If it's 9 points, 8 points, 7 points, I base everything on 10 points and above. So and on that as well, if you're looking at how to work that out, note that IG, you won't be able to work this out because they trade out of hours, but with City Index or CMC or most of the others, if I'm looking at, so that's the overnight market close is at 7765, the 850 or 950 Sydney time open is at 7769, so that gap is 4 points. At 10 o'clock Sydney time, close here. So as you can see, the open so this is all Brisbane time, sorry. Open 7765 or 7763 of the close of that. Obviously it dropped 2 points just on open there, but basically you can see there, open 7769, close 7764. So it didn't hit that 10 points lower pre-market. So that's what you're looking at, okay, is when I put out a pre-market alert, that needs to be 10 points or more from 9:50 open to 10 a.m. Okay, so that out the window today. All right. So these are the CPI ranges. So before I start, I'll take that out for a minute. Before I start, I had these ranges on my chart, okay? So basically this is the minimum range I'm expecting and this is the average range that I'm expecting. So again, this is just pulled from the data here. So if you look at through these ranges, there's 30 points, 31 points, and then the rest are 39 and above. Okay, so all I'm doing there is making an educated guess that today we're going to reach at least 40 points because 90 something percent of CPI days go above that. Okay, so I mark that on the chart, and then 60 points is just the average of all the moves. Okay, so I put them on the chart just to give me something to work with to use for take profits, things like that. So, I saw a lot of people this morning saying that, they were long, they got this run up here, and then they've closed out and taken profit here. To me, that just doesn't make any sense when you look at it through the lens of the likely ranges for the day, okay? You're just selling yourself short. So anyway, as I was saying, there was no high probability, there was no nothing early, so I had no edge. One of the things that I've gotten a lot better at is being able to sit out when there is no edge through pre-market, through open, and wait for that first 15-minute move. So, got the first 15-minute move up. Now, I'm obviously got a little bit of an advantage that I've got the data and I sift through and check it. But so these were the outcomes at 9:15 when I filtered a 5 points or higher first 15-minute move on CPI day. Okay, so on those days we finished 3 points higher, 19 points higher, 40 points higher, 43, 50, 50, 67. Okay, so pretty compelling that we're at 10 points now. At 9:15 we're at 10 points above open here, and past moves have been these here. So again, I'm just taking an educated guess that with this kind of price action, we're going to be finishing up here, which gives me 30, 40, 50 points of potential profit. Okay, and as I said, I know you guys didn't have that bit, but basically I'm making an educated guess that we're going to finish that first hour higher. Okay, if it turned around and dropped 20 points, well, then I'd be obviously licking my wounds and reassessing. But in the end, that's what happened. Okay, so you can see here, and this is an account, by the way, that I've set up specifically to live trade with you guys. So I've had a few people that jump on that the call with me at the market open, and we can just live trade, and I can talk you through and actually trade. This is real money. This is not a demo account, and I can trade with you and kind of talk you through how I'm trading, what I'm thinking. So that's always open. So you can see 9:15. I was 36 seconds late, but traded long. Okay, so again, I'm taking in that data. I'm thinking, okay, we're 10 points up. Likely range is going to be this, and at the moment, it's looking like we're going higher. Okay, so along here, long 9:15, long 9:18, long 9:30, and then long just before the announcement. So, okay. So again, we got this. What's it down here? All right. So obviously that first hour higher. So essentially, I'm thinking any moves lower off the table, and then this also confirmed that. So you can see in that few minutes past 11 that we've hit new highs. So again, if you look back here, what I've got, 8 and the 9 top rallies bottom the first hour, 7 and 8 top falls top the first hour. So now that we've not, how am I saying that? Now that we've not topped the first hour because we've increased the range higher after that first hour, that now takes the falls off the table for me, essentially. Okay, so these are all just in my mind adding confidence to my positions. Okay, each of these points is kind of adding additional confidence, and then obviously we got the move higher. I started taking profit around that minimum range, and then I just set kind of additional take profits every 10 points above. So took profit there, and then was a little late here, but took some profit there. So that's essentially, I just had this here as well for that range pre-announcement. So essentially here, we've voided any chance of falls essentially from the data. And at 35-point range pre-CPI announcement, you're essentially betting betting that we're in the bottom two of all of these ranges, okay? Which may well have been the case, but the odds are definitely in our favor that we're going to extend that range based on what's happened in the past. So anyway, that's, obviously you can adjust these sizes, etc. This is only a small account that I set up, but you can adjust them higher or lower depending on kind of what you're trading. But that's kind of the overview of how I thought about things. So I think that's about it. Hopefully it gives you some insight. I'm happy to do more of these. As I said, I'm just a little hesitant that I don't poison your thinking, your independent thinking and your strategy, but I'm more than happy to kind of do this either as a group or video like this, or individually, as I said, if you want to set something up. It's midnight here, but I'm up anyway for the open, so I'm more than happy to kind of trade alongside you and just talk you through kind of how I think of things. So anyway, guys, have a great Easter. Thanks.